Check, 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 check. Check, 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 check. Check, 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 check. Yeah. Welcome to a stream of conscious rap. I'm just making sure the stream is online so I can bring all this back. I got a backpack full of flows and I'm trying to put it all on the floor so y'all can all just unpack that. And there's a lot of it, lots of facts in that. Also some inferences and some syntax that y'all might just have to syntax and find some context clues in it that might just unwrap the whole cracks in your mind, cause I'm just putting it all in context that you can't find anywhere else unless you find the whole hex. I mean, I'm at the apex. Yeah, predator for all these other MCs. I'm gonna come through and settle the score and might even equalize the whole economy. The ecology of it is really settling it and it's set up for sure. And it's a setup, and I'm just wondering, are I set up for more? Am I ever gonna get more? Am I set to be ignored? They just wanna ignore all the things of import that come through the ports, and I'm just opening up these doors of conversations, trying to see if it can happen, cracking open endorphins. And it's adorable how they think that they actually have some refraction or some reflection on the levels of power. Fucking hear me out there, wanna fucking have the beat going down, causing a ruckus. Yeah, and all this shit that I'm just shoveling, trying to get them to understand why we can't take this. Yeah, too many places I can take this, and it's ruckus. The applause that I'm getting from the basement. And it wouldn't be too hard to tank this, but I'm sure that they just need to find this thankless job and find a way to rewrite this. Like there's just spices and schemes that are always coming across my plate. Not sure what I should call this, or if there's any direction I can call this. I'm not sure what they call this. If anybody discovered this or uncovered this, it's uncoveted, but really there's enough of this. And there's nothing less than the sickness, and I must confess, I'm feeling like I'm getting to the end of my rope. My whip is kind of thin and it's kind of split. I'm trying to find the right time to split, but I'm sure that finding something in common between me and you is the hardest thing any of us could have ever did. And even if it seems effortless when you're seeing the next person across the stream, I'm crossing the stream. I mean, I got some things coming out of my brain. Only way I can communicate it is through these beams coming through the streams that might just leave you in streamers, might just string you along for days. And I'm amazed that there's still listeners, there's still people peeking through the glistening window just to see what's in it and what's in it for them, and if they can get some info from it. Probably not, cause it's getting worn and it's getting torn, and this is just something new is forlorn, and there's more to be scored, and there's just scoring and they're doing but really I'm feeling it's more important. I'm trying to inform them, I'm trying to find something for them, but the flood that's coming from the floor is probably gonna overpower all of us, and the consequences coming for us from it is just gonna be overwhelming and forcing. Better not force it, better just be the one coming to the best conclusion. Consequences always gonna just flood the torches. And it must be torturous, and there must be halls where we can go, but it must be pause, and it must be stalling. I mean, I must be stalling for as long as I can, cause I know there's lots of things getting in the way, but my mind and my thoughts are just popping. I'm always popping off at the mouth, but really there's more patience to be shown, and I'm just trying to stay where I am. But I know that they always got poems written, and I'm getting in their faces with these things that I wrote, and things that are coming off of the dome that they're quoting. This is something different, this is new, and repackage it just to be back in. They want to be back pedaling cause they don't seem like they have it. They don't have it in them, but really the syndrome is getting sicker by the day. If you let them get away with it, then the toxicity gonna creep away with the whole game. That's just the whole scripture, that's the way it goes when you dig deeper into the familiar patterns. It may just be scattered, maybe something that's blasting off the window pane that you have, but the pain that I got is coming out of my brain and I can't stop it. And I may just want it, and it may just keep me walking, but really the history that I put on it, these books are less than honest. This is just something I gotta put out there, otherwise they're gonna question all of it. And really I just need to know that they're the blessing they claim to be. I mean, really it stays the same to me. There's no shame to me, and there's no shame in me. And all these people in power seem the same to me. They seem like they want to make a claim, but it's all lame to me. And I'm just trying to be the change. They want to call me to change and say some things, but really this is just a shame that they can't even move the way this beam. I'm just trying to make some things happen, get it shaking, but they're shaking in their boots cause they can't say, and they can't rephrase it, and they can't make it seem worse than it really was. Can't repackage it for a new audience that's less honest than it was. But really I'm just where it all was. I'm just all shook up and all stuck the way we all were. I got too much passion for all this shit. I'm just warming up on this stream before I get into my shit. Let me have a minute. I mean, I need to put it in a basket. I'm a basket case, and that's a case of the last risk I would have ever had to take or wanted. And there's too much on it. There's too much history on it. And it's just sonic shit that's getting into my ears and causing me to feel nauseous. My head keeps bumping no matter how long this shit goes on. And honestly, the dirt underneath my feet and the soles of my shoes and my nails is kind of getting older every week passing by. I can't sleep. I can't take my time anymore, cause seems like time's getting condensed and it's intense, and there's always more at the other side of it. I'm sick of sighing and I'm sick of looking for signs when there's just some co-signing to be done. Might as well just write my name in fine print and hope they find it, but no one's ever gonna find that. I mean, really I'm hoping I can put my line back. They gotta tackle it like a linebacker, so why would I try to find or get my lines back? Can't remember my lines. Someone's gotta toss them from the side, cause I can't even get my size. I mean, I need to size them up, but really the question comes in parts, and I'm just a part of a piece that's coming apart at the seams, and I can't even see the way through to the other side. So let me just end it. There's just something I gotta say, but once I'm inside, there's no way to change the system the way they told me I could, and they told me it's good, and they told me they would be right beside me helping to organize, but they got shook, stuck, only one left, but there's always more left to go. But now there's more or less something that is causing the essence to go out the window, and it's less than we started with before, and this is just the score. There's no way to settle it. It's devilish. This is just the game that they set up when they wanted to keep the peasants peddling constantly and panhandling. Can't even handle it. I'm sure that by the end of the stanzas they're just stammering, and I can't stand them again. And this is just me being a stand-in for things that they can't even stand to reminisce. And I'm just planning the destruction of the planet, and I might even have my ride out it. So I just got out just in time while the explosion happened. This is just so overblown, going over it and recapping. There's no capping when people wreak havoc. This is just adaptation that has to take place, cause otherwise you'll be put in your place or basketed or wrapped up in it. And I'm getting too wrapped up in the game to even have my fucking profit that I want, cause I'm sick of winning. I've got so many things that I'm sick of thinking that just keep swirling around in my mind and won't stop sticking. And I'm trying to stick to the plot, stick to the plan, but this is just a flash in the pan that they can't possibly plan or can't pan it when it hits the fucking market, cause there's lots to be said about it. There's a lot to say in it, but people who got the comprehension can't stand it, so why plan it? There's always something else to be saying about my planet, but as far as I'm concerned, I can barely keep my hands in it. I'm sick of all this. I'm sick of all this. I'm so appalled with this. No place for working class politics. My brain's in a state of being fried all the time. Can't even get a grip on this. And to be honest, I feel like I lost the plot in this. But who hasn't? And who has a grip on their own brain? Cause it's such a hazard. Info hazards everywhere you look, all the same. Every path you go down gon' take you all the same way. Gon' end up not a penny in your pocket, and your shit fried all day. Can't Can't take it out, can't put it back in. I mean, I'm thinking all these things, they got me moving on the back end. Then, at the same time, got bombs dropping on the back end. On any children that we can find, women or civilians, doesn't matter, long as they add to the leverage. Put it all added up in a pie, that's pie in the sky, just like drones that fly by. And it's different than a drive-by when there's no one driving it. I mean, what is driving this machine? It's something besides an eye in it, and I'm sure that keeping my eye on it is something that might be ionic. I'm turning my body into a bionic Antifa super soldier just to fight all these supersonic flying obstacles in front of my eyes. Cause I got a trick up my sleeve. Not sure if this apology that they wanna be speaking to me is gonna get across the map. Might catch a fucking fist to the jaw and cheek. Might be jarring. In fact, the last time I left it all on the fucking floor this week. They gotta read deeper into it. This is something you can't intuit. There is more to every story that you see. You just need the lenses to look through it. I need to graze this and grip through it. I mean, opened up the book just to flip through it. I might flip, my brain just might trick you, and it might be just a vision you weren't expecting to see. Imagery that flips your brain. Kids ripped in 3, still going on to this day. Now it's just to the Lebanese, finish their job in Gaza. Gotta keep going with the destruction. Dropping bombs on any target they want and wanton destruction. Killing anybody in their path. Greater Israel project, a real goal, real job that they've got. And all they need is to distract the US with Iran and the Strait of Hormuz. Probably knew behind the scenes in all those war rooms exactly what Iran would do when it comes to dropping bombs. US dropping bombs on them too, knowing that they would close that off and we would have to deal with it for a few weeks, if not months, if not years. But Israel doesn't give a fuck, it's got no fears. All they gotta do is expand into Lebanese territory and drop their yellow line in the sand to say that's where you can't stand. And if there's anybody who can't stand it or doesn't wanna ditch their land, then they're gonna get the other end of the stick, the brandish of it. They might just get branded, and that's just how this whole fucking conflict has gone. And the planet is still turning, and it's still disturbing. But this discursion into war crimes probably changed so many people's minds forever. And it's not even the worst of it, it's gonna get worse when this ceasefire doesn't hold on either end. Currently trying to negotiate over nuclear power. Iran doesn't want to give up their hand, cause why would they make a negotiation plan with us and people who've lied to their faces over and over again? You can't trust, hide their hand throwing stones while you can't even catch a glimpse. And that's just what we specialize in, especially Israel letting it fly in. And doesn't matter if a Lebanese child is caught in the crossfire again, or a Gazan. Matter of fact, we barely even talk about them, cause that's not the focus of Israel's plan in Lebanon. And they just wanna get us focused on the economics of going to war with Iran so they can expand their Israel project under the cover of the news media wanting to cover Trump's insane antics. And they can count on it. And matter of fact, that's how they played their hand, is to get the madman in the White House wound up so he would just wind up saying some dumb shit that got everyone mad at him and stuck in a quagmire for months that he just can't seem to get out of. And trust, this was always something that we weren't gonna get shit out of, and we're just gonna put more into the pot, probably gonna end up subsidizing Israel's military with our tax dollars. Can't pay for their own healthcare or their own soldiers. What can they do other than get us to bomb children for them too, while they go on a new discursion that has no justification? But if you check the news, they're still painting the Israel narrative too. They never break away from it, can't even take space from it. I'm just trying to take my place in it. I'm sick of being complacent with it. But it seems like the electorate of America is shifting so rapidly. Israel knows that they have to be changing their direction before the next election. They know that they're on borrowed time when it comes to the aid that they're getting from America, so they've got to make some changes and some suggestions. Yeah, and if they don't, then they're gonna get cut off. By the end of it, gotta make sure they get a lot done. Trying to set up camp in Lebanon so that when the Democrats come, they can't be clipping away at their aid that they're getting. And matter of fact, it's not even likely that Democrats are gonna be that willing to be chipping away at the aid that Israel's getting. Although they might try it, because influence that Israel has in the Democratic Party is waning. And I find it kind of funny in both parties in America. Support for Israel is waning by the day, and that's the downside of duopoly, ain't it? Supposed to be able to control the conversation, but when the consensus is too strong, then you can't even stop the momentum, can you? Things are gonna go in that way, might even get split open underneath the earth like a canyon. And damn if I wasn't damned to it. And I can't even stand the things they say about it. They can't even stand for it. They wanna act like they're standing up to Israel, but have nothing but stammering to offer, talking about Netanyahu and how he's responsible for all of it, and like it's not the greater Israel project and apartheid that they want to set down on anyone who's not Jewish in the area, trying to create a Jewish ethno-state just so they can be airing out anyone that they think is not following or taking proper care to respect their territory in the Middle Eastern region they believe is theirs, cause it was written in the Bible or some bullshit Old Testament turned into the Talmud, and that's just where they got their permission from God to go after all the children in any other region that they believe is theirs. Doesn't matter, cause the justification comes from the news printed behind them. They're always gonna have cover in American media, don't even worry about it. Yeah, like that I'm just some dude, normal dude, justice for all us. Yeah, I'm just some fool, rapping on stream, doing what I must do. Justice for the normal people of America. We're trying to find some new things to run through and some new clues that they must find to be on top of the news, cause the news just must lie. It's just destruction coming, but there's some things in my eye I can't trust. The narrative spun around me, might get spin around me. This shit is spit, they can't even get their grip around, cause it's too confusing. Might fly in the face of anything that they thought was unintrusive and unobstructive, but I'm instructing that they're gonna have to get the rest of the lesson after this fucking war shit is over. Not sure if this is gonna go on for years, but I know that whoever comes in power, whether it's in the midterms or the next election, better have a plan to unwind this shit. And for restitution, America is gonna owe a big debt to a lot of countries if this doesn't stop soon. And even honestly, in the current place that it's at, we're already on the hook. And that's why a madman like Trump is the only one that can ignore reality, no matter how long that it took. Shocked to discover Republicans are being taken over by anti-Semites. Yeah, white Christian nationalism is something that they set right in its place, trying to make sure that they could incite hatred at any place that they could set their sights on, cause that's the only way to control the narrative and get it right and get people in place. And that insight is exactly what led to Elon Musk standing on stage doing a Sig Heil in front of the world's might, and they had to demur on that and say, let's calm down, it's not right to jump to conclusion. Obviously Elon Musk is not a Nazi, cause that would be confusing to our whole Israel project. Netanyahu said that Elon Musk is not an enemy, he's a friend. I wonder why is that? Cause he controls the media apparatus that they need to get their hands on, and in fact having a good relationship there has actually been a good liaison for them, and it's gotten them way farther, and it's helped them dial in their narrative structure. But even X is not a very pro-Israel place for them to be laying their compuncture, but the anti-Muslim narrative's always gonna take space over any type of anti-Semitism, and eventually I expect that on the right that's gonna take back over in popularity and allow them to skate away from the anti-Israel shit and not constantly have to be debating it. And Tucker Carlson probably gonna get buried in the reactionary propaganda that he helped and is partially married to, and that will be the thing that does him in to the very end. Yeah, I've been stalling, I've just been calling out to all you, just to see what all of us would do. Had a meeting in a ballroom, and it all went a little through the roof. I mean, just standing on the roof, seeing if I can catch a glimpse of targeted Yeah, assassination, not quite, more like just a outburst from someone who's disgruntled, trying to run up on them. Got some things on his chest, chip on the shoulder. Maybe a false flag, hard to know, cause all these things are so tangled up, and all the narratives are constantly changing and moving all around us, and everybody just doing what is politically expedient and just going for whatever opportunity they can grasp in a minute, and the wind just moves past them and there's no passion in it. They just have to constantly be pushing the line. Doesn't matter if it's factually true or just something they had to go back on or are gonna pedal back from in just a minute. And the sounds you hear ringing out from such a distance, freaking everybody out. Just guns ringing out. Yeah, barely hit anyone, not even sending a bullet through the room where the crowd is gathered, but all we're hearing is all about this fucking ballroom shooting, giving me the runaround. Give me a fucking break, I don't give a fuck about this fucking Correspondents dinner and all these things they wanna shoot and everything they wanna do to keep us talking about that and not the truth, cause they just wanna build a ballroom so Trump can have a place to do all his dirty fucking deeds and his due diligence and get his dues from the people who are trying to be pillaging the Middle East and know that they gotta go through the president and do things that are unprecedented. Yeah, and now it's all just true. Yeah, the glass ceiling that I'm breaking all through. It's awful to understand where the offer comes from now. I'm trying to be blowing off the roof. All these failed attempts are kind of getting a little exhausting too. And always hearing about how violent the left is when violence has been dominated by the right for the last several decades in this country. But now they want to switch and act like they've got such an issue with it. But it's not about the guns, it's the ideology. Want to make it illegal to think the things that you and I think. And that's the strategy, and they will never let it go. So every time this type shit comes around, every time some shots ring out in the vicinity of the president or even not, they're gonna use it as a moment to set the precedent that going after leftists is the best thing you can do when these types of shootings are happening, saying that leftists are psychopathic, even though this guy happened to be a blue sky guy, liberal, trying to keep Aaron Rupar in his timeline, and seems like not the type that is gonna pick up a gun and go do some shooting and try to catch a body or two, but wouldn't put it past him. Never know what's gonna happen, and in this country where things are getting more violent and virulent, anything could slip past the grip of the Secret Service or security, cause the people that get hired for these events are a bunch of dumbasses and bastards. Trust me, cause I do that work and I know exactly how this type of shit works behind the scenes. Got some unfucking paid grunts that are just doing things over their heads that they barely understand, and they aren't even taught what they're supposed to think or what they're supposed to do in certain situations. Just know that they're protecting property, that's all that matters. Security guards don't even have any authority, can't even stop someone if they wanted. So someone pushing past them with a gun is not surprising. They don't have the same type of incentive that some Secret Service guy has to jump on top of the president to try to prevent the violence. That's just not their job. Depending on that is the way you get someone shot, and that's the way you set up a situation if you want to make it way less safe for everyone involved, which honestly seems like the Trump MO at this point. It seems like what he wants and what he always has wanted. Always want things to be unstable and wants to take advantage of any situation that allows him to be the victim. And this guy tried to storm past the security apparatus that they had just to see if he could get in the structure, make some shit happen and cause some destruction, but they got him. Yeah, just a couple shots ringing out, and that was all he was able to get off. But there's always next time. Just kidding, just jokes off the dome. Not tripping like he did onto the carpet, but All it takes is enough bodies, don't even need a gun. Watching these guys, these kids go on Scientology runs, trying to push past the security guards and get as far as they can inside of these buildings just to see what they can learn. Anything that they can discern from this secretive, creepy organization that pops up, has buildings on every corner. And if you live in LA, it's a ubiquitous presence. They're everywhere, constantly trying to recruit and get the peasants into their doors. That's why their doors are open. So when the teenagers want to run by and just try to scope them out or see if they can push past the doorman and get as far in as they possibly can, it actually is made easier for them. And only now are they upping the security and trying to get some armed guards out front. But honestly, even them, you could push right past. They have no authority to pull that gun out and put a bullet in anyone. And matter of fact, they'd probably see a jail cell before anyone else, because this is California. So all you gotta do is push past that pussy. You probably wouldn't even pull that fucking gun out of its holster, cause why would he? Not getting paid enough for that. And really the show of solidarity that comes seeing these groups of kids that are running through all these hallways. And it's kind of scary, cause these are some of the most powerful people in Hollywood, and they have the ability to have the police up in there with the agility. And that's exactly what's happening in reality. Trying to clamp down on these kids, these teens who are just pushing the line and seeing if they can see anything behind the scenes, and creating these teams that are pushing it and going inside and getting as far as they can before they're dragged out. And really it just shows you that that's how a proper crash out is composed. With enough bodies, you can push past whatever security is imposed, and that's the only way that you can get close to the levels of power and do what you're supposed to. And every day that goes on in America, they're more exposed, trying to build the surveillance state so they can enclose themselves, so they don't have to worry about kids and the things that they do and people that they shut out of healthcare and kill and leave in the cold. Because as long as they got their buildings with their floor plans that no one knows, then they have a place they can go and retreat to, so no one can even see through the opaque windows. But with enough people, you can just push past those doors. And that's how every successful revolution is done. Some, they don't even have guns, they just have manpower. And if you have enough people that can push past people that want to stop you, you can get anything done. And that's just how history goes these days, seeing people powered, building up slowly, not enough to actually cause a dent, but enough to inject a little bit of hope in the veins. And I hope it's the same, and I hope the games they're playing get spread way further across the lane, and there's way farther we got to go, so we can stop the violence by deposing Trump out of the administration. He's got to go and put him behind bars as soon as politically possible, as soon as there's any opening. That's a dude, if I've ever seen one, who needs his head to be a bit rearranged, maybe redecorated and designated. And this is just a suggestion, just a little bit of an imaginative fantasy I'm creating. Creativity is wonderful, isn't it? Free speech in the land of the free, exercising freedom might just lead to some kind of crazy situation, but standing strong behind my idioms and my beliefs. Ideology is always gonna be spread farther by idiots and people who actually understand the real rhythms. So this is something you can digest in your own time, but my timeline is a little bit scattered, a little bit splayed across the map, so you can read it at a different speed, a different juncture. What's the function? Wanna find new conclusions to jump to, but what's the jump scare? Yeah, I need to see the mushrooms that they're chewing on so I can jump there. Yeah, I'm like Mario's new movie, cause I don't care. That's one of the worst lines I've ever said. Alright, I'm gonna leave it at that.